this is Miss Andrea, and today I really want to talk about a homeschool curriculum that you should absolutely be using if you are COVID schooling. If you are taking your kids out of school for this year due to the COVID numbers being up, I really want you to consider using Time for Learning. Time for Learning is a homeschool program available online for students of all ages, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It provides a practical and flexible homeschooling alternative while providing student-led courses allowing children to work independently. I personally used Time for Learning as my family's homeschooling program of choice our first few years homeschooling because I did not know when and if they would go back into public school, and I did not stop using Time for Learning until we decided that we were going to homeschool for the long run. Time for Learning provides parents with grades, reports, supplemental worksheets, and lesson plans. Time for Learning is delivered 100% online. Students can sign in from any desktop or laptop computer. They can use it through the iPhone, through certain apps, and they can use it through some tablets with an internet connection. It's portable, and you'll never have to worry about your child missing or losing a notebook or a textbook, which homeschool students will do when they're not in the mood to do their work. Parents may enroll multiple children into the Time for Learning program. This is good for big families and small. You can enroll multiple students into the program for grades pre-K through 8. There's a discount for every child beyond the first child, but there is no discount for the high school students. Regardless, this is the prices that they've had since they started this program many years ago, and it is 100% easily affordable. You'll spend way less than the schools spend to educate your child. The program is completely self-paced, allowing the student to proceed as quickly or as slowly as they need to. A parent can decide to assign the pace at which their child works. So if your child is dragging, you can tell them, okay, you're going to have to get this much done each day. But you'll pick up on that quickly and you'll know. Grades are recorded and made available to parents who can print the reports or use them for transcripts and homeschool portfolios. Homeschool portfolios, I've done many videos about that. That's the documentation you need to prepare your child to enroll into college. Time for Learning is not a school. You have to understand this. It is a homeschool curriculum only. The parent is the responsible party who prepares transcripts, diplomas. You issue your diplomas, and you decide when your child graduates. As with any other homeschool curriculum, the parent assumes full responsibility for the student's progress. While students are capable of working independently, the parent is regarded as the teacher and should be prepared to explain difficult concepts. This is not plug and play. You have to do the work too. There is no beginning and end date for using Time for Learning. Students can start and finish at any time of the year, and they can move on to the next year when they are done. That means if you decide a month into the school year that you're going to homeschool, that's not a problem for Time for Learning. They'll just let you sign in, start at the beginning, and when you're done, you're done. Because you can pace this to your needs, this is why my daughter completed 2nd and 3rd grade in her first year of homeschooling, because I let her go at her own pace and she was able to learn so quickly. Time for Learning provides essential math, language arts, social studies, and science topics. Foreign language options for an additional monthly fee are also available. Additional subjects available to high school students include health, economics, personal finance, and the foreign language program called Time for Languages. So you can get the basics of everything you need to graduate a student if necessary, which means you can use Time for Learning at any grade level. So let's do some pros and cons. Pro, Time for Learning can be managed completely online, so you don't have to put up with lost books and paperwork. Con, if your child already spends too much time online, this will only add to their screen time. So as a parent, you will need to police that. Pro, students can go at their own pace. The con in that scenario is a lack of structured schedules can be bad for students who are not self-motivated. So while they can go at their own pace, that works really well when they can go fast, provided they're not skipping things and missing concepts. But it can be also bad if they decide to go at a glacial rate, and you as the parent will need to help them regulate that. Pro, flexibility. Time for Learning offers 4 core subjects, which honestly doesn't take long for most students to complete, leaving time for outside activities and extracurriculars. The con is there are only 4 core subjects offered, and so you will want to supplement to provide a well-rounded education. That could be having a music instructor come in, going to the Taekwondo studio, dance, theater, etc. Pro, there's a lack of accreditation here. Time for Learning is not accredited. As a homeschool curriculum, that keeps the prices reasonable. Once you're accredited, the prices go way up. The con is the lack of accreditation will worry some parents who are looking for more of an online private school experience. You can find an online private school experience, but it's going to cost you 10 times what Time for Learning costs. Pro, this is a secular worldview. This is not a Christian homeschool curriculum. It is a secular homeschool curriculum. The Time for Learning is one of the few homeschool curriculum that does not have a strong Christian bill. This is also a con for people looking for a secular worldview. Christians may consider the secular worldview a con if they are looking for a biblical-based curriculum. I'm Christian. It didn't bother me to not have a biblical-based curriculum. We still went to Sunday school. We still went to church. Pro, set lesson plans. Parents don't need to worry about stepping out of their comfort zone and creating lesson plans for their children. This can also be a con, as set learning material doesn't have a lot of room or time for flexibility. So as you become more comfortable with homeschooling, should you consider to homeschool, for several years, this is where people decide to start doing something different because they realize their child needs more flexibility here, try something different there. But if this is why you're homeschooling because of COVID, this works. Pro, record keeping. Record keeping is done for you. You will know how much time your child spends online, you will know how long they take to complete a task, and you will know how well they do on that task. The con is that such record keeping can be restricted. Since Time for Learning is not a school, it keeps grades with printable reports, but it does not offer full records such as transcripts, diplomas, and so on. Also, the record keeping is pretty clinical. They take the test, they get a score. If the parent wants to do additional assessments, then they'll have to, write their own reports for those things. Pro, automatic grading. As students work through their coursework, their assignments are automatically graded and recorded by the program, saving parents both time and effort. Looks like I jumped ahead. So the con here is the automatic grading can be inflexible. However, parents should be able to alter grades as they see necessary. It's not that hard. You just add your own documentation to why you want the grade to be different, and you keep that and you just math it all out at the end of the year. So at the end of the day, Khan Academy is an easily affordable program with a monthly fee and no contract required. Pre-K through 8th grade is $19.99 a month. High school is $30 a month. If you have extra students under 8th grade, I think it goes down to $15 for the additional kids. Foreign language courses are $59.99 for 6 months of access, and there's a typo here. Foreign language course and Time for Languages is the exact same thing. Their prices have not changed in almost 20 years. So the question of Common Core comes up a lot. Since it is not a school, Time for Learning does not need to follow Common Core guidelines. It is instead designed to correlate to all state standards, which makes it seem similar to Common Core methods actually. This curriculum existed before Common Core was created though, so similarities may be incidental. Time for Learning is not accredited, it is a curriculum, it is not a school. And so accreditation is not required, Common Core is not required. I hope you found this information useful. This is not sponsored, this is just my honest opinion of a low-cost curriculum that you should seriously consider if you're pulling your child out for a short period of time with plans to put them back in later. This will keep your students from getting off track, especially in grades K through 8.